Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Malaysia is deploying emergency financial assistance to thousands displaced by a massive fire in SANDAKAN, Sabah. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim confirms that while immediate humanitarian aid is available to all victims, long-term housing solutions will prioritise Malaysian citizens. The announcement follows a devastating blaze that wiped out approximately 1,000 homes in the Kampung Bahagia water village last Sunday.
The Prime Minister stresses that emergency relief must be administered to everyone affected, regardless of their nationality.
Keduanya tentu bincang dengan Ketua Menteri dalam langkah yang harus diambil berikutnya untuk bantu dari segi pembangunan semula, perumahan dan sebagainya. Walaupun kita tahu agak rumit sedikit kerana sebahagian itu anak-anak tempatan warga negara, sebahagian besar itu bukan warga negara. Tapi tentulah cara dan kaedah penyelesaian itu berbeza. Kita terpaksa beri tumpuan lebih kepada warga negara. Tapi dalam masa sama dan beri kemanusiaan, saya ucap terima kasih kerana kerajaan negeri memulakan satu rencana bantu ya, tanpa mengira sama ada itu orang warga negara itu bukan, isu kemanusiaan, makan, minum, tempat tinggal sementara, keselamatan mereka, itu semua harus diliti sekarang.
The federal government is also providing 1,500 ringgit in compassionate aid to each affected family. This initial package involves 300 registered families, totaling 450,000 ringgit in immediate disbursements. The funding includes an additional 500 ringgit from the Prime Minister's Department on top of the 1,000 ringgit previously allocated through the National Disaster Management Agency. These federal funds complement the Sabah state government's pledge of 2,000 ringgit per household, bringing the total immediate aid to 3,500 ringgit for eligible families.
Customs officials in Sarawak have intercepted a massive shipment of untaxed cigarettes and alcohol valued at nearly 2 million ringgit. The seizure follows a targeted raid on an abandoned warehouse in Bintulu as authorities ramp up enforcement against smuggling syndicates operating in the state. State Customs Director Datuk Nurisan Yahya confirms the operation was executed on March 30th by the Bintulu Enforcement Branch after weeks of surveillance. Acting on intelligence, officers descended on the vacant premises along Jalan Ngiu, discovering stacks of contraband intended for local distribution. The haul represents a significant blow to black market networks that evade national duties and import regulations.
Hasil pemeriksaan ke atas gudang tersebut telah menemukan sebanyak 1,920,000 batang rokok dan 5,988 liter minuman keras yang disyaki merupakan barang larangan di bawah Perintah Kastam Larangan mengenai import 2023. Dan semua barang tersebut telah disita, dirampas untuk siasatan lanjut. Nilai sitaan rokok dan minuman keras tersebut dianggarkan berjumlah 473,000, manakala jumlah duti ialah 1.4 juta. Menjadikan jumlah keseluruhannya ialah 1.985 juta. Kes ini masih dalam siasatan. Modus operandi bagi kes ini ialah menjadikan gudang kosong dan terbiar sebagai lokasi penyimpanan barangan sebelum diedarkan ke pasaran sekitar.
Investigators believe the syndicate used the abandoned site as a temporary storage hub to evade detection before moving the goods to nearby markets. The case is currently being probed under the 1967 Customs Act for possession of untaxed or prohibited imports. Authorities in Miri are investigating a fatal collision that has claimed the lives of two 15-year-old boys. The crash involving a motorcycle and a car occurred on Saturday night along a stretch of the Pan Borneo Highway in the Suai district. Miri District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Farhan Lee Abdullah confirmed the incident in a statement, noting the accident took place near the Alam Bumi Junction at approximately 7:45 p.m. Preliminary investigations found that a vehicle travelling from Miri toward Bintulu struck the rear of the teenager's motorcycle. The impact left both boys critically injured, prompting an emergency medical response at the scene. The teens were rushed to Miri Hospital, where medical teams attempted to stabilize them in the emergency unit. The 32-year-old driver of the car escaped the collision unscathed. Authorities have since detained the driver to assist in an ongoing criminal investigation into the circumstances of the crash. The case is being filed under Section 41 in bracket 1 of the 1987 Road Transport Act, which deals with reckless or dangerous driving causing death. Police are now seeking witnesses to come forward with any information regarding the incident. Investigations remain active as police reconstruct the events leading to the fatal impact. Tuberculosis remains a persistent public health challenge in Sarawak as annual infection rates hold steady at endemic levels. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian reveals that State Health Department data shows the number of cases has remained consistent over the last 5 years. Officials are now highlighting the impact of geography and socio-economic factors on disease detection and treatment. While the numbers are stable, the highest concentrations of the disease are often found in areas with specific infrastructure challenges.
But TB has remained endemic for many years, with annual cases consistent around 2,800 to 3,000 cases between 2021 and 2025. Right? The highest number are largely influenced by rural and remote settlements or the healthcare facility with doctors and laboratory or X-ray services.
Health officials identify household overcrowding and low socio-economic status as key barriers to early intervention. These conditions, particularly among the urban poor, often lead to delays in patients seeking medical attention.
That's what I get this from from our health department. I will forward this. To you guys later, so that at least you can quote for it.
Medical experts warn that tuberculosis can remain latent in the body for extended periods, only becoming active when the immune system is weakened. Because the bacteria is airborne, it poses a risk to individuals across all social backgrounds, making early detection vital to halting transmission. U.S. President Donald Trump has officially extended the ceasefire with Iran following an urgent request from Pakistani mediators. It is a fragile lifeline for a region on the brink, but while the diplomats are talking, the weapons are still firing. The headlines may say ceasefire, but the reality on the water is far more dangerous. Just hours after the extension, a Liberian flag container ship was ambushed by an Iranian Revolutionary Guard gunboat off the coast of Oman. The vessel was reportedly hit by gunfire but managed to stay afloat. Tehran claims the ship ignored military warnings. British security firms say the vessel had explicit permission to pass. It's a sign of the immense tension in the Strait of Hormuz, which Trump says is starving Iran of cash. As for the US-Iran negotiations in Pakistan, the situation is in limbo. The White House has grounded Vice President J.D. Vance, stating he will not fly to Islamabad until Iran's fractured leadership puts a real proposal on the table. The peace is just as thin in Lebanon. Despite a separate 10-day truce, clashes between Israel and Hezbollah. An Israeli strike killed at least one person today. This follows a wave of rocket and drone attacks from Hezbollah, who say they are merely responding to blatant Israeli violations. Despite the bloodshed, diplomats from Israel and Lebanon are still expected to meet in Washington tomorrow for a second round of high-stakes talks. As its military and diplomatic standoff with the US and Israel continues, Iran is winning hearts and minds across the world with their creative, cutting-edge social media strategy. Forget the grainy footage and somber tones of the past. Tehran's media strategy has undergone a high-tech makeover aimed directly at Western social feeds. In part one of this two-part special, thanks to RT International correspondent Ilya Petrenko, breaks down how Iran is now leveraging AI-generated content and viral memes to challenge the US and Israeli narrative.
What would previously come to mind if you thought about Iranian propaganda? Somewhat grim faces, harsh tones, grainy footage that looks like it's been approved by 10 committees and one tired VIP bureaucrat at the top. A system that used to feel slow, stuck in another decade. Well, it turns out that the image didn't survive the war. Because what Iran's been putting out since the start of Donald Trump's bloody campaign looks nothing like that. Suddenly, it's slick, fast, algorithm-friendly, AI-generated clips, polished visuals, content that feels like it belongs on your feed, not in a dusty archive. But visuals alone don't win attention. You need to know what people actually care about, and that's where it gets interesting. Iran's messaging doesn't just travel, it adapts. Cartoons, memes, emotional tributes from playful Lego-style clips.
We hitting the bow, worshiping Epstein Island crew, the ones who hurt the kids. Revenge for every American soul, you and Trump's dirty crew oppressed and dead. We taking payback for the girls, you broke the wives, you broke the Muslims you hate. Every victim screaming in the dark, Iran got you on the play.
To somber pieces commemorating victims.
You must attack Minab School.
The eyes of Mr. President.
This looks pretty on you too.
Eat your breakfast so we can go to school early.
Mom, I'm coming now. I'm going to school and I'll be by your side soon.
And then precision strikes, because across platforms, one name keeps popping up: Jeffrey Epstein. And official statements in AI clips and embassy tweets.
There is no doubt that the President of the United States has become a pawn of the Prime Minister of the Zionist regime in the war of aggression against Iran, driven by pressure from the terrorist organization Mossad, exploiting his background in the Epstein case.
The people of Jeffrey Epstein Island, they don't know humanity, they don't have morality.
They're really hitting a nerve here inside the U.S. administration, from Bulgaria to the Netherlands to Zimbabwe. Iranian embassies are recycling that same pressure point. And just in case the message isn't loud enough, here's an AI-generated motivational video for U.S. troops.
I'm fighting for Jeffrey.
I'm fighting for Jeffrey.
I'm fighting for Jeffrey! I'm fighting for Jeffrey.
Operation Fury. Subtle? Not exactly. Effective? That's the idea.
And that's the updates for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.